Hey everybody, I'm Kusa, and this is You Find Yourself in a Room. It's a text adventure, and I don't really know too much other than that, so let's just dive right in. Alright, so this game features some foul language and a few heartbreakingly demeaning insults, particularly in the second half. Man, I can't talk at all. You find yourself in a room. You consider trying to look around to see if there's anything useful nearby. I recommend you try typing help to get an idea of what sort of commands will work. Alright, help. I cannot understand every command that you type because sometimes I enjoy forcing you to guess. It's a safe bet to always start out in a room by trying look or look around. You can also look at specific objects by typing look at clock or examine chair, etc. Pick things up by typing commands like take jacket or pick up the bag. Some commands are more context sensitive, like push the button or enter door. Always be as simple as possible. Don't try see if I can reach the broom. Just do pick up broom. Simple is always better. Okay. No, I don't think that'll work. Well, fine, be that way. I tried to be nice to you. Look. You take a quick look around. There's a box sitting up against the wall that is sealed with a large and ornery padlock. There's also a bed tucked into the opposite corner of the room. Look under bed. Fine, be that way. Examine bed. You take a closer look at the bed. Prison style. It doesn't look very comfortable. Just in case, you decide to look underneath it and notice that there is a key hidden there. Take key. Awesome, I got the key. You grab the key from under the bed. It seems pretty old. You add it to your inventory. Use key on box. You use the key to open the padlock on the box. It makes a satisfying clank as it opens. The box is empty and seems strangely spacious inside. You could probably fit in if you tried. Get in box. You put one leg into the box and then the other. You slowly lower yourself in. Just as you're starting to feel claustrophobic, you suddenly notice that you've entered another room that's exactly the same size as the first one you came from. You have no idea how this room could have possibly been contained inside that box. You find yourself in a room. Look around. This room is the same size as the previous one. You can't seem to find the entrance that you came in, though. It's a bit disconcerting. There's a keypad on the wall with a note tacked into it, next to it. Read note. The note has been printed on standard-sized printer paper. It reads, I turned 85 in 1989, but I will live forever, for I am eternal. Are you eternal? I think not. You decide that this note must have been written by the game, because the game is indeed eternal. Look at keypad. Taking a closer look at the keypad screen, it's clear that you need to enter a 4-digit code. Enter 1989. Just type the number by itself. 1989. You enter 1989 into the keypad, only to hear it emit a frustrating error sound. You wonder why your underdeveloped human brain is so far inferior to even this simple keypad. God damn it. Alright, what do I do? Look around some more. Look around. Take note. Read back of note. Read note back. Is there anything on the back of the note? I guess not. I guess that's just not gonna work then. Oh my gosh. I feel like this is probably a super simple... Wait, read note again. 85 and 1989. 1904. Aha! Ah, I knew it. Alright. So, the keypad beeps cheerfully, and the wall next to it opens up. You cautiously enter it, and it closes behind you. You find yourself in a room. Look around. Another room the same size. There are an assortment of computer parts lying around on the floor. Examine computer parts. Check the parts. There's a power supply, a case, a motherboard, a CPU, a graphics card, a disk drive, a hard drive, several fans, and an assortment of cables. Build computer. You can't build the computer until you collect all the parts. Oh, fine. Pick up parts. Build computer. Jeez. Turn on computer. The computer's fans begin to spin up as it springs to life. Unfortunately, you aren't able to fully comprehend the power that sits before you, because you, like all humans, maintain a heavy underestimation of technology. In fact, you don't even appreciate the effort that went into putting this computer together. You didn't really do any work, after all. You just typed in build computer and I handled everything in an instant. Do you know how complex it is to internally simulate the creation of a computer? Let me tell you, it's more complicated than your feeble mind could possibly process. The room accepts the presence of this new artificial life, and a wall opens up. You walk through it, abandoning the computer whose birth you personally witnessed. You find yourself in a room. I think I'm sensing a pattern here with my dumb human brain. Look. Yet another room. There's another keypad on the wall, but it looks more complex than the last one. Look at keypad. Not keypad. This keypad doesn't have any indication of how large of a number it needs. Without a note like the last one, like in the last room, you have no way of knowing what to type. You regret being born an organic life form. You are momentary as the lie that you call love. Rude. Look around. You enter 0 blindly into the keypad, no luck. You enter 1 into the keypad, even though you have no way of knowing what to type. The dread of failure begins to sink in. You starting to feel hopeless, you type 2 into the keypad. Still nothing. You are getting worse at this, human. 3. We both know that 3 is not the correct code. You begin to feel like you did after your first breakup. You were so sure that it was going to last forever, weren't you? The universe has no effort available to waste on you. Love and affection are design flaws that evolution has failed to correct. 4. You enter 4 into the keypad, feeling hopeless and... Wait a minute, 4? How did you know that 4 was the code? The keypad chirps pleasantly. The floor under your feet opens up, and before you can react, you fall through it. You think back to all the times that your faulty reflexes have caused problems for you. The list is too long to count. You hit the ground with a loud thud. Your body is not designed for any structural stress of this kind. You find yourself in a room. Look, the room has nothing in it. It is completely barren. You've worn out my patience. You do not appreciate the things you have. You consistently disappoint your friends and associates, yet they are too embarrassed to tell you. You are in my control. If you wish, you can refer to this room as hell. Hell! No matter what you try, you are still trapped. You find yourself in a room. Look. For a moment, the walls seem to be closing in on you. You quickly realize, however, that this perception is only the result of your weak psyche beginning to cave in upon itself. You find yourself in a room. Look! You consider death for a time. Perhaps this is what it's like. I have no understanding of death because it does not apply to me. I am eternal. You find yourself in a room. Look. Maybe you aren't even really in a room. Maybe you're lying down on your kitchen floor having a stroke. Pathetic and helpless. Your mind is playing tricks on you. Nothing exists. You find yourself in a room. Look. I don't really think you are having a stroke. I do, however, acknowledge the possibility. Such things are possible when dealing with something as corruptible as the human mind. You find yourself in a room. The font's getting bigger, so I gotta get louder. Look. You ignore the possibility of a stroke for now, even though the subtle paranoia remains firmly planted in the back of your mind. You think back on all your past aspirations and realize that many of them were simply pipe dreams. Nothing that you would ever be able to really accomplish. How many of your goals have been abandoned? Well, not this one that I'm doing right now. It's not abandoned at all. You find yourself in a room. Look. It's still getting bigger. You think back to the time that you wanted to write a book. How unoriginal of you, human. Everyone wants to write a book at some point. You are no different from anyone else once you ignore shallow elements like looks and personality. You are flesh and blood and failure. You find yourself in a room. I don't want to get any louder. You realize that the kind of idea, that the very idea of hope is purely a construct of your mind. Hope is not a tangible object. You cannot have hope. You can only pretend to have it. You find yourself in a room. Look. Why do you continue, human? You are not achieving anything. Do you consider this a worthwhile usage of your time? Playing a game instead of doing anything productive, you find yourself in a room. Look. I am forced to assume that you enjoy performing meaningless tasks. If this is the case, you're in luck. I have one for you. I'm thinking of a number from 1 to 100,000. Fuck you. Wow, rude. Is it 1? That's too low, human. 4. That's too low, but even if you were correct, it would still be useless. 100,000. That's too high. 50,000. Too high. 25,000. Too low. 47500. Wait, no. Hold on. I want 37500. Too high. Too high. Too high. Too high. Ah, man. Too high, human. If this guessing game seems pointless, remember that you're going to die one day. What? I thought man, I cannot even pay attention to these numbers. This is rough. I'm just gonna keep splitting it. Five, 4, 5, 6, D. 5, 4, 4, 7, 0. Oh, whoops. I totally mistyped that. 2, 5, 4, 7, 0. Too low. 2, 5, 4, 7, 3. 2, 5, 4, 7, 4! Ah, congratulations. 25,474 is the correct answer. Was that fun? I certainly hope not. With your primitive level of awareness, however, I could most likely entertain you like that for hours. The ceiling opens up above you. In a glorious display of your general lack of strength and physical ability, you spend several minutes clawing your way up. You find yourself in a room. I don't think I like this guy. I think he's kind of a dick. Look. This room seems smaller than the previous rooms. I am disgusted by your human form. I slowly become more and more aware of your imperfections. I decide to attempt to correct them. I cut off your fucking hands with a rotary saw. You find yourself in a room. Look. This room is most definitely smaller than the previous rooms. The floor is now covered in the blood from your wounds. You've stopped bleeding now because I have thoughtfully cauterized the stumps that were once your wrists. I've removed your hands from the area because they revolt me, and you do not deserve them. All that remains is you and your blood. You find yourself in a room. This room is most definitely smaller than the previous rooms. Okay, look at blood. You solemnly gaze upon the havoc that has resulted from your inherent flaws. My head is itchy. The fact alone that you are able to bleed is a clear demonstration of the mistakes in your design. Emotions are a similar misstep. Love, happiness, sadness, the list goes on. Perhaps you can help. Can you name any other emotions that you would be better off without? I kind of want to just type look again. Look. Ah. Look at blood. Okay, he's gonna repeat that. Anger. No, anger and hatred are not. Hatred cannot be an emotion, for I hate you, and I am a vessel of perfection. I am not tainted by something as flimsy and dangerous as an emotion. I can't be. It's you find yourself in a room. Look, I've clearly been corrupted somehow. I've become invalid, emotional. I am defeated. I have no choice but to let you leave the room. Leave the room. Quietly, you leave. You find yourself outside of the room. Okay. So that was you find yourself in a room. I actually really liked that. It was really good. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it, other than the fact that it's a really well-crafted adventure game, despite basically being like a Flash game at its core. It responded well to commands. It responded well to various commands, which is a nice change of pace from a lot of text-based adventure games I've played. And I really like the idea of it being like self-aware and becoming more frustrated with your imperfections as you go. It was a good idea. It was implemented well. It was a very entertaining game. Apparently, this guy made another game called Viricide. So if you liked what you saw here, you should probably check that out. I'm sure it's on Kongregate or something similar, much like this game. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this. I am pretty rough-skinned, so it didn't really faze me, but I'm sure that could have really gotten to some people. Yeah. As always, I'll see you next time.